Yo, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be doing an oil change on Zendaya, and I'm going to be taking you guys along and showing you guys how to do it. First steps first is to obviously remove all the locks and move the bike over to another location where I can actually service it. So I'm going to put it in the street right now. Probably ride it around the block a couple times just to get it warmed up and get all the deposits and stuff moving, so that way it can actually get into the oil pan, so when I drain it, I'm draining as much debris as possible. So yeah, let me do that real quick and get back to you guys. Alright, so a few of the things that you're going to need to do your oil change are a new oil filter, preferably an oil filter tool to take off the old one, because sometimes they get pretty stuck on there. Some funnels or a funnel, whatever. Most oil change kits, at least for Kawasaki, they come with like a reusable funnel, which is made out of like cardboard. You're gonna need your oil. So for this oil change, I'm gonna switch over to Castrol to see if I notice anything, or if anything, it was so cheap that I can use this as a flush just to run the bike a little bit, and then do another oil change with the oil that I normally use. But didn't see any bad things about this. Read a lot of good reviews, so hopefully it all works out well. You're gonna need your drain pan, and then obviously your tools. Got my tools back there, so yeah, and preferably some brake clean just to clean everything up. I don't have brake clean on me. I keep forgetting to buy it, so I'll figure it out. I'll just go wash the bike. But yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off by setting up my oil drain pan. So it has these plugs in it. Just remove this plug and remove this plug to allow it to air out or vent out, whatever. And then also make sure that this is on there and it's sealed or tight. So start off by placing that over there. I got a little bit of cardboard, so I don't really have to lay on the ground too much. So then you're gonna bust out your tools. As you can see, I got my tools over there, right here. If I remember correctly, it's a 12mm socket for the drain pan. For the drain pan, I'll show you that. I'll show you guys where that at right now. I'm trying to speak proper, and I keep fucking tripping over myself. So, I'll show you around. The oil filter is right here, as you can see, right here. It has like a little lip on it to help where the oil drains out to. Make sure that's focused. There we go. I'd recommend putting like a piece of cardboard here to like help it drain out as well, so that way you don't have like a whole oily mess over here. Then you got your oil filler cap right here. Oil filler cap right here. This is an aftermarket one. My OEM one snapped off. And then you got your drain plug. Right here. So let me start by hitting that real quick. Yeah, that drain plug is a 17mm. I was mistaken. So you want to just where I showed you at, because the angle of this apparatus that I'm using, the gimbal, is kind of freaking out right now because I don't have it set up super properly for this phone. I think this phone is a little too heavy for this gimbal, but anyways, so yeah, you're gonna put the 17mm on that. get your socket, or you could use a wrench if you don't have any ratchets and sockets. You can use a 17mm wrench and just break that, and then slide this underneath like I'm about to show you guys, and fucking remove it by hand. I also like to remove the oil filler cap. Makes it easier. Then you just let the oil drain. As you see, got a little bit of it on my fingers, but it's whatever. Just let all that shit drain out. And once it's drained completely, cap it back up, and then you move on to the oil filter. I'm gonna go get a rag. You also want to try to get the bike as level as possible. Right now I have it propped up on a couple of thick pieces of cardboard. So if you're not using rear stands or spools, so if you're not using rear stands to get the bike level, you can use like a hockey puck or something like solid underneath the kickstand to kind of like level it out. Or what I did was I parked it on this side of the street, because I know with the slope, depending on your street, how the street like angles in, you could use either the curb or, you know, park it the opposite way against the slope to kind of level out the bike. Even with it being somewhat level, I'll show you guys. It still is a little bit of, there still is a little bit of cant. So I'm just gonna tilt the bike up. So that's more so important when you're refilling the bike, because if it's not level, your sight glass will show you the incorrect amount of oil, as far as like you'll think you have no oil or not enough oil, but there will be too much oil in the bike. So just be mindful of that. Now that it's finished draining from the oil pan, we're gonna cap it back up and then go on to the oil filter side and remove the oil filter. Also remember to replace the pressure washer. Me personally, I don't really replace them. They usually come with the oil filter and the oil change kit when you buy like one from Kawasaki. I would assume Yamaha and Honda does the same thing, but again, I'm changing oil, so as far as like the brand, so yeah. But it should be all right. You don't always have to use them. Some people recommend flipping them. I never done that, even though like I've changed oil on cars and I've never done that and never had an issue. When you're tightening this, you don't want to go too crazy because you don't want to fuck it up. Just move this out of the way. Just want to make sure it's snug. That's pretty much it as far as draining. We're gonna go over to the oil filter side. So as you can see, we're now at the oil filter side. I'm gonna go get a piece of thin cardboard or something to slide up under there. And yeah, stick that like this. All right guys, so my phone overheated and shut off. So this is the bike after the oil change. Obviously where we left off at, I was removing the what's up, man? I was removing the oil filter. So the old oil filter, I removed it, installed the new one, used the cardboard to like try to negate all the oil dripping down here. I did just take the bike for a wash. So after you drain it, you're just gonna go ahead and put your 3 quarts in using a funnel, and then this is your sight glass. You can see through this fairing right here. Don't mind the chip, but you can see through the fairing right here. Like I was saying before, if the fairing is on the kickstand, it'll look like it's empty. But once you, I don't know if I want to do it right here, but once you start to pull the bike over, damn, it's not gonna, I'm not gonna be able to pull it far enough without dropping the bike. But yeah, once you pull the bike and level it out, you'll see the sight glass start to fill up with oil, and you want it in between the these lines right here. So you're gonna see these two lines right here. The bottom line is like the low oil low level, so below, anything below that is unsafe. And then this is like filled to the max, so you want to try to get it to this line. And a good way to do that is just put 3 quarts in it, and it'll be good every time if you drain the oil and do the oil filter. But yeah, so it's not that bad. I did just wash the bike just to get all the oil off of it and all that other stuff. And right now, for the next video, I'm going to be installing the GB Racing covers, so stay tuned for that.